Alright guys, hey, Scott Combeck here from the HITCentre. We're just here to show you a good home workout. It's going to be the first in a series of little workouts you can take home with you, do them, find out how you are, improve in the future. So, what we've got is really straightforward. We're going to cover a couple of basic points really quickly and then jump onto it just so you know for the future. Whenever we're working out, it's cold out at the moment here in Australia, it's winter, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm wearing about 4 layers. And I wasn't wearing my beanie until a moment ago, but it's nice and cold. We want to make sure we're warm before we start working out. So, what we're going to start off with is dyno, which means dynamic stretching, basically taking ourselves to a nice full range of motion, getting our joints warmed up and making sure we're ready to go. We'll show you that in a moment. After that, something simple, jogging, body weight movements, maybe 20-30 squats, running out for 5 minutes. Don't, whatever you do, jump straight into a workout because you want to be able to give it your max, and if you're cold, it's not going to work. So make sure you've done some of these. 5 to 10 minutes minimum warm up, I would always say. Very rare that you wouldn't find me, in the gym warming up before I do anything, even a strength day. So, dyno stretching. Let's just get started with that. You all know how to jog, but dyno is basically, dynamic stretching as simple as it gets. Arm swings, crossing over the arms as we go, doing maybe 20 sets of, swinging over, leg swings, really basic stuff, making sure we're kicking out nice and high, all those sort of things. Whatever it happens to be, make sure all of your joints are warmed up and ready to go. We don't want to think we're super cold, super tight. We don't want to tear anything. We want to try and maximize that. If you have movement problems, there are a lot of ways to address them. One of the really basic and straightforward ways is making sure that you are warm and you're liquid and ready to go. Jogging, I'm not going to joke around with that. You guys know that. Of course, bodyweight movements could be push-ups and squats and stuff we're going to talk about in a second. Just sort of, get going. Don't push yourself too hard. Give it 5 minutes and then get ready. Alright, so today's workout, super simple. We thought I'd start off with something that anyone can do at home, doesn't require any equipment, it's going to be fairly, cardiovascular intense, bodyweight movements. The idea is to get through it as quick as possible and make sure it's really, really nice. The workout is 400-meter run, so, kind of mark out a distance. You can either pace out, 50 yards and then run through that 8 times, or you can try and pace out 100 yards, etc. Try and find that. It's always nice to try and find a nice grassed area, but concrete works just as well. After that, we've got 21 squats, push-ups, and mountain climbers. Now, squats, really simple movement. We're just going to get, I made Joel here on the camera to step back. Now, I've just got something here to show you the range of a squat. So if you've got something around that's sort of, about just below knee height, that's a good way to sort of give you a measure on your squat. When a squat is being used without any weight, what I just want to think about is having my feet shoulder width apart, my belly's turned on, squeezing on my abs, not crunching in, but just tightening up a bit. And then I'm going to push my bum back. I'm going to get into a nice deep squat, push that bum back and down, and try and drop down nice and tight. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the better it is, the more you're going to get out of it. A little bit of time movement will do a lot to help you improve your fitness. So spend a little bit of time warming up, making sure that bum goes back and down, dropping it back. The knees, relatively above the ankles. Try not to sort of push too far out forward, trying to keep those heels on the ground. So it is a strong hamstring and glute developer, and if you do it fast enough, it can be quite challenging. If you're having trouble during a workout and you're thinking, am I squatting deep enough, it doesn't seem very hard, try and find something, like I said, just below the knee. And what you're going to do is you're going to try and squat to that every time, just so you've got that range. Obviously, maybe the first time you do this workout, you don't go so fast. As you get better, start thinking about driving out the squats, nice and high, nice and quick. Alright, after that, the simple push-up, fantastic movement, more of a strength exercise. Now, I know a lot of people look at push-ups as a difficult thing. Really shouldn't be. Just got to try as much as possible to keep everything squeezed on. Even if you're on a knees push-up, keep it all tight. Think hands behind the pecs, pressing out, and making sure we don't do anything crazy like arch the back, bend in a crazy position, and be all nice. Now, I'm just going to ditch my jacket so I can get down, show you a couple of push-ups. So, hands on the floor. I find a really quick way to measure out is put my hands behind my pecs, out just a little bit, everything squeezed on nice and tight, driving out. So, let's give you a couple of reps to look at. Excellent. Now, there's a couple of ways of scaling this. Number one, if you're doing hands-free push-ups, but they're not quite perfect, you're not stiff and on, one step down from that is the hands on something a little bit elevated. So say you've got like a horse fence, a fence of posts or whatever, something that's elevated that gives you the option to be up a bit higher, perfect way to scale. So the first scale down is the hands on a bench, feet on the floor push-up. Nice and easy. Good way to get out more reps, make life easier for you if you're not quite ready for hands-free push-ups. If you're even below that, next thing, hands on the floor but knees on the floor. So instead of going to feet, we're going to squeeze everything on, belly on, hands on. And think about that same push-up position and driving out. Easy, good way of scaling. Say you're not even quite there yet, don't worry. One more thing we can do, and that's combine the two elements, have my hands elevated, have my knees together, and we're going to push up on an incline. If you're just getting started with exercise, this would be perfect. It's a really good way to build up some strength in those arms and make sure we're getting what we need. Last thing is the mountain climber. Now, a really fast exercise, but not necessarily one you have to do quick, but when you get it going, it can be a real burner. Everything on, hands out. We're going to go from a position of 1 foot high, to the other foot high, to the other foot high. So, one rep would be from feet down, back to the same position. Now obviously you don't need to fly through it. If you're still developing, you can slow it down. Do what you need to get through the exercises. Obviously killing yourself, not the solution. Nice speed, make everything look good. Now once we're finished through that, so 400 meters, 21 squats, 20 push-ups, 21 mountain climbers. Remember, mountain climber is from 1, 2, then once I'm done, 400 meter run, 15 of those squats, 15 of the push-ups, 15 of the mountain climbers, another 400 meter run, 9 squats, 9 push-ups, 9 mountain climbers. So scaling down to the end, to those quick mountain climbers to finish off with, should be nice. Thinking, if you're doing really well, 10 minutes would be pretty hardcore, 15 minutes would be good. Anything over that, keep on working hard and keep on training and trying to get better. So, don't forget to post your times, see how you go, and have fun. Make sure you enjoy yourself while you're exercising. Don't forget to stretch afterwards. We'll be supplying some videos real soon on lots of stretching exercises. Make sure that whatever you know, you put it to good use, and of course, if you need to seek medical attention before you train, go talk to your doctor first.